And we haven't even mentioned gender yet, but now we must. What if all the women's jokes were compressed into one, and it became one joke to express the humor of the gentle gender? We're not two sexes, by the way, two genders. We're not two species either, just men and women. We may come from different universes, as some say, but we're still just genders. So we're about to find out the last man left standing, excuse me, as he listens to the best women's jokes, and vice versa. As we create our universe of comic discourse, we're reminded of the theory of everything that we hear about from physicists that grew out of Einstein's desire to find a mathematical way of harmonizing all the different principal forces of the universe, like gravity and the nuclear forces. What about the connection between entertainment, love, life, laughter, healing, and money? You know, many times in my career, you can call it that, I don't know, I call it a career, but people will say to me, you know, I have to get practical. Now, if I say, well, I'm being practical, I mean, we can go out and dig a garden or phone somebody, but what that really means is what philosophers of language would call a heavily coded communication. What that really means is, I want money from you, but I'm too embarrassed to say so. Now, money is a very strange thing. It's not for nothing, it's called filthy lucre. There are many reasons for this. One series of jokes that we could enjoy would take Sigmund Freud's stages of psychosexual development and their risks of fixation and see what they yield for jokes. For example, to put it in every sense at its lowest, a person who is fixated at the anal level with the retention of feces will become a hoarder of money. A person fixated at the oral level may find it easier to talk about wealth than to make it. But there is nothing to stop us creating a theory of comic creativity and wealth creation which says, for example, if a bank is not a vessel for financial comedy, then it's not maximizing its wealth creating capability. But now let's close out this broadcast by approaching it from a different direction, not gender or even money. Let's take a journey through the life stages. I am thinking here what I mean from birth through old age and death. I remember particularly the first time my daughter laughed, at least in my presence. This was in Philadelphia. It was close to 30 years ago. And she was sitting in a plastic baby seat, strapped in, on a shelf above the kitchen table. And I think it must have been somebody's birthday or something, because somebody blew one of those streamers at her, and suddenly she just laughed. Well, that was the first time that her comic nature came to the forefront. I doubt that she could have been more than a few months old. What about at the other end? The seniors who tell the jokes. And there are so many. And every senior has wisdom. For others, life is hearsay, as Erik Erikson and Dick Spady said. For the seniors, life lived is wisdom. Wisdom is balance. Balance gives the ability to relax and see the comic side of things, the light side of things, which is another way of saying we can get the view, as the philosopher Spinoza said, sub specie aeternitatis, the higher perspective. And when we do, we'll be able to see that now, effortlessly, we have launched here the job description, the mission, the constitutional comic grammar of that universe of discourse which we call universal comedy, the comic universe, the set of all laugh-a-lots and the school for the next generation of comedians. Laugh on. Thank you.